What is the worst thing that is legal? Impossibly hard to cancel subscriptions. It should be law that you can cancel the same method you used to sign up. I think California might actually have a law like this. Not for a gym membership that I know of. I had a gym membership, and I moved to where keeping my membership with that line of gyms was way out of my way. I had walked in to sign up, and tried to walk in to sign out. I got this big song and dance about how Therese only one person who works there that is qualified to stop the membership. They wouldn't give me their name or an approximation of a good time they would be there. They said I could do it online. That process took over 2 months to complete, and it was absolute bullshit. Edit for everyone recommending to simply stop payment. This will solve the problem short term only. You are still being billed whether or not you are paying them. You are still a member whether or not you continue to go to the gym. What you don't want is to stop payment, block payment, etc., because that will not stop them from sending you into debt collections. That puts you in breach of the contract you signed, and they will send you a letter, or a collection agency will, 6 to 8 months down the line informing you of your debt. We all know it's a bullshit system, but please don't try to solve the problem by blocking payment. It will make it a bigger hassle for you down the road. Cancel your membership. Let me guess, Law Fitness? I had to do the same runaround to cancel my membership a few years ago. They did the same thing to my dad. They completely took advantage of an old man by confusing him enough to sell him some training package with his membership. My mom was shocked when they got a bill for $1,600 and it took them months to cancel. Duck law shitness and their predatory tactics. There was a guy from Law Fitness who would come into where I worked to try and get people to join the gym on a daily basis. My managers would tell him we didn't allow solicitation in the lobby, so he'd start peeking through the windows to make sure the managers were not there. He seemed to take a special interest in me and got very creepy very quickly. I won't go into details, but eventually I had to be walked to my car at closing and our managers had to contact his employers. Predatory indeed. His employers probably sent him. I had a guy from Leaf Guard come to my house to do an estimate on gutter covers. After measuring, he started in with the sales pitch. I stopped him. I was familiar with the product, just needed the estimate. He kept going, real condescending. Finally got it, higher than I expected. I told him I'd think about. He started with another sales pitch. I said I wouldn't make a decision right now, asked him to leave. He started offering discounts. I flat out said no, and he started with another sales pitch. I told him he was no longer welcome and needed to leave now. Then he asked me to think about and shake his hand. I shook his hand and he said, "Great, we'll have a crew here on Monday." I said, "Like hell you will, get out of my house now or I'll call the police." He got defensive, tried a de-escalation ploy, then started selling the gutters again. I called 911, and he left once he saw I was really calling. After explaining to the dispatcher the situation and saying it was now under control, I called his boss. His boss apologized, said he'd be given new guidance on proper sales techniques, then tried to sell me the ducking gutters. I still get ads from them in the mail once or twice a year. How to get a customer to go to your competitors in one easy step. Not the worst thing, but it used to be illegal for commercials on TV to be louder than the actual show, but not any longer suddenly. Putting unrelated crap into bills to sneak it into law. I know they're supposed to follow some kind rules related to germaneness, but they clearly don't, and clearly need actual laws with actual punishments for pulling this crap. For-profit prisons. I used to lobby at the state level. For-profit prisons would literally lobby against things like early child education and paid family leave because, well, it's bad for business. And to be clear, I did not lobby for private prisons, but did lobby for things like paid family leave and early childhood education. WTF. That is some next level dystopian bullshit right there. This makes my blood boil. Yeah, what the duck? It asks how they sleep at night, but I just assume they don't have a soul and don't need sleep. It asks how they sleep at night on beds made of money apparently. The size of the X button on pop-up ads. X buttons that do nothing. Or X buttons on mobile that take you to the link anyway. God, I couldn't tell you how many times I've gotten caught in that ducking loop. Child marriage. To tack on, child marriages, and where they cannot legally divorce until they are 18. Found out the other day. Excuse me? So you're saying they can be tricked forced into marriage but they aren't considered competent enough to get out? That is an extra layer of ducked up. Yep, there was a post in Legal Advice, I think it was the other day. In Massachusetts, a child, 14? 16, can get married, but can't get divorced until 18 without parental consent. There was a guy posting because his cousin had been forced into a marriage and could he get out of it. Ada, link for those who want to read. Well, that just ruined my day. But thank you for explaining. Permanently destroying huge areas of natural land. Nearby from where I live, there's a development corporation in my hometown that has bought up virtually all of the remaining woods, meadows and wetlands in the area, paved them, and built retail spaces that go vacant just a few months later. Businesses aren't even moving into these places, but the group just keeps spreading out and developing. It seems like every month, I drive past another leveled tract of land. Frankly, it's terrible. Multi-level marketing. But hon, don't you want to be your own boss babe for life by sharing and distributing our detoxing nutrition drinks that give you 6 of your 5 a day? This whole acting like they're doing the person a favor is why MLM will never die out. At best it'll rebrand as something else. That's why it's been going on thousands of years. I mean, even the ancient Egyptians had pyramid schemes. I don't know if that was a pun based on the pyramids, but I'm entertained by the thought of Cleopatra trying to sell me essential oils and trashy leggings. Jar vibrators. Caller ID spoofing. Somebody spoofed my number and my name came up on the caller ID apparently. I got a text from some irritable person demanding why I was harassing them. I tried to explain what spoofing was, but they sent me the screenshot of my name on their caller ID and asked if it was me. I imagine this person Googled me and did all kinds of shit and decided I was the bad person in this. I feel like my privacy was totally violated. In that case, I feel like the victim on the other end is the actual spoofer. I can't prove it, but they always seem the most upset over phone calls when they can just easily block you. One time someone called from out of state and said they had missed calls from me. I told them I don't know, man, it's probably that robocall business shit. Just block my number. I hung up and blocked their number. It's crazy that people check back on those. If I get a call from an unknown number, I tell myself it's spam and pray there is no voicemail so I can move on with my life. Hearing a honking sound in a radio commercial. Or sirens. Some car insurance radio commercial had the sound of a ducking car crash. Yep. There's one that's been on the radio that's like this, but worse. First off, the volume of its commercial seems to be 3x louder than anything else on the station. Then, you hear the sound of loud screeching tires coming from the right side of your car, getting louder and quickly approaching, with a loud crash with both speakers, making you near certain your car has just been struck. I have no idea how it's still legal. I've almost crashed multiple times from it. Scam calls and solicitation calls. I swear they used to be illegal at one point. Scam calls are not legal. They just know how to not get caught. Any pre-recorded sale call can only happen if you give consent. The Indian scam calls, while illegal and annoying, are fun because I like to mess with them. This guy is the best, though. U2.B. I like Jim Browning's 4-part series where he has CCTV footage of the scam center and collaborated with a documentary team and local police to take them down. In Mark Ruber's 3rd installment of The Glitter Bomb, he said he's teamed up with Jim Browning and should be releasing stuff in the next few months. Jim Browning is the Terminator of scammers. When he pulls up a Facebook photo of the person he's talking to and shows it to them while on the call, it's just an incredible moment. A parent keeping their kid from the other parent when there's no good reason to and leveraging the courts to do it. This enrages me so much. How many parents have practically lost their children to narcissists and psychopaths because of this? And because the kids get brainwashed out of a relationship, it's hard to ever get in touch again, even when they have grown out of the other one's reach. Sorry to get personal, but this is a big one for me. My ex got primary custody based on a domestic violence accusation that supposedly happened while she was on the phone with her sister, who served as a witness, of course. The police showed up and concluded that no violence had occurred. The court believed her version of the events over mine, in spite of a police report concluding no domestic violence, and I lost custody of my kids. After I was in court, I compared the police report with my phone records. My ex called the police before she called her sister, meaning the entire episode was pre-planned. Edited to add, this comment unexpectedly received a lot of attention. No, this was never corrected and there is no legal way for me to do so. My lawyer says the only way to go back to court, and win, is to prove that my ex is a danger to the kids' safety. Which probably won't ever happen. In lieu of all of that, I simply focus on being the best dad that I can be with the time that I get with my kids. They will be minors for only their first 18 years, whereas I am their dad forever.